Are you serious? This trick done left his MySpace open.
Hello.
Vegas?
Oh, what about baby girl?
Don't baby girl me. How many of your groupies you call baby girl? Is Tisha a baby girl? Is Amanda a baby girl too? And who the hell is Bonquisha? Is that even a name?
Roughly, I got 7 baby mothers.
Vybz Kartel is just a person who will come out and say, yeah, I have more than one woman. That's the type of person I am.
GYALIS is a man who thinks that he's a player. Stud, has lots of women, and of course he's heterosexual.
Well, I love the ladies, you know. I love all ladies. Yeah, man, every lady is worldwide.
And everybody know we wild already. Believe you me, me name is
The male-dominated music genre of dancehall places women high on the agenda. So-called girl tunes are ubiquitous, from Shabba Ranks in the early 1990s singing Trellalode to Beenie Man a few years later singing Old Dog, and Mavado in 2010 with Gal Mad Over Me. It's what dancehall researcher Dr. Donna Hope refers to as promiscuous polygamous behavior, a lifestyle which puts both its male and female participants at increased risk for HIV/AIDS.
Promiscuous as well, in terms of that you are actively engaging in sex, sometimes not even with these same several persons that you're committed, but with others, because this is a part of how some men will identify themselves as, powerful, important, productive.
One of the most prolific voices of the past few years is controversial DJ Vybz Kartel, whose music has taken on an explicitly sexual overtone and whose lyrics, like his contemporaries, boast of multiple women. But it's not just music. This is the life he lives, and he has the children to prove it.
Yeah, so I got 7 kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, five boys and 2 girls.
Different mothers?
Yeah, I think 4 different mothers. Yeah, man.
I use questions for a reason.
Love them, tender touch them, different girl every day.
One man to one woman culture is really, if you check it, is a Western culture, you know. Because in the eastern part of the world, you know what I mean, which is the other half of the world, or I would say more people live in the east than in the west. In eastern cultures, a lot of eastern cultures, having more than one wife is commonplace. You know what I mean? So we ain't doing nothing wrong. It's all about if you can maintain it, as can I.
As celebrated as this lifestyle is in dancehall, it's a risky attitude. Impregnating different women means having unprotected sex with them.
In terms of the multiple partners, the inconsistent condom use, because we tend to want to put a face to HIV and think it's a homosexual face. And it is not a homosexual face. In fact, the data tells us that HIV/AIDS is a heterosexual disease. And so I'd say to the straight men that, gal in a bungle don't work all the time, and we have a lot of gal in a bungle clients.
The artists are well aware of these implications.
Don't you think that these behaviors increase the risk for HIV?
Having more than one woman? Definitely, it does. That goes without saying. You know what I mean? But as I said in life, when you do certain things, you gotta be prepared for what comes with the actions. You gotta be prepared for the consequences of your actions. Vybz Kartel, I would think that I'm a very careful person when it comes to sexual activity. You know what I mean? And precautionary sex, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like condoms. Yeah.
Veteran DJ Beenie Man, the father of 8 children by 7 women, says he cuts his risk by getting tested for HIV/AIDS regularly.
You just randomly bam, breed a woman. You naturally do that. You have a relationship first with this woman, yeah. Find out her likes and her dislikes, her do and her don'ts, and then you and her go to the doctor and you get yourself tested. If she don't even know say that, just make sure say you certain say the doctor do that. Cause this is the greatest thing. Carlene was the first one that did that to me, Yeah.
You didn't get tested?
Of course.
Dancehall queen Carleen, who was perhaps Jamaica's most recognizable female sex symbol in the 1990s, was Beenie Man's long-term girlfriend at the height of both their popularity. They have a daughter together. In the mid-90s, Carleen became the face and spokesperson of Slam condoms. And not only did she insist on safe sex with her partner, she says she also insisted on monogamy.
Not everything they sing is what they live, because certainly at that time when we were together, I certainly approve of whatever song he did, because I was also an inspiration to a lot of them. But he was not the character that the song said, because everybody know we were always together, always together. It was what he probably saw or lived before, but when he did those songs, because I'm in Enough Girl video, so it had, and I mean, we were a public item, so if he had gone out of bounds with each of us, they would have made the news. It would have made the news. So, not at all. No, not at all.
It's an important point for both lovers and critics of dancehall music. Although Beenie Man has at various points lived the Nuff Gal lifestyle, he claims to prefer a steady relationship.
Let me tell you a serious thing about life and relationship. Why me have to have my relationship? I can sleep with 24 girls, see, for the week, and next week I sleep with the next 24. A girl from Colombia, I send for a girl from Australia, I send for a girl from Africa. It's still not going to make a difference for the night when me go on my bed alone by myself. That night I probably can catch a heart attack or catch a stroke or something. Having a woman's side always make certain so that now.
Yet the image portrayed in dancehall more often than not is not one of monogamy. According to author of Inna the Dancehall and Man Vibes, Dr. Donna Hope, this behavior is tied to perceptions of manhood.
The man has to, if he wants to really be seen in a very positive light, showcase that he is not what Jamaicans call a one burner. Being a one burner is not necessarily a good thing. Being faithful to one partner, you know, many men are in discussions are often ridiculed for being a one burner. Being faithful to one woman, and are often encouraged to be a player, to play the field, to be an old dog.
Vibes Cartel has a different explanation. He says it's a matter of simple practicality.
But you gotta look at the culture of Jamaica. For every one man, you have probably 6 or 7 women. You know what I mean?
Where do you get that statistic from?
I did it myself. It's a Vibes Cartel poll. And the Vibes Cartel poll has come to the conclusion that there are more women in Jamaica than men. And all women need love. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to spread the love. You know what I mean? And when you're a good man, you know what I mean? You're going to be a magnet for women. As am I.
Many women these days are resigning themselves to the fact that they must share the man because they believe that man is scarce. I don't know that man really is scarce. You know, if you are sufficiently discriminating and you're prepared to wait long enough, you'll eventually get one. But a lot of women not prepared to wait, so them giant lines.
On the other hand, Beenie Man has an insightful observation.
Them not care. Them don't know what love is. So them don't realize when a woman love them, and them don't realize when they are in love. When them I get too much feelings, them try to break away by having a next woman. When them feeling for that woman, them try to break away by finding a next woman. When you find out now, all of these women is in love with you, so them not leaving you. So you leave a trailer woman, I follow you, by getting new woman. Then you come around back in a circle, then you get by. That's always happen to our old dog.
It's like boom, bye, bye, in a naughty boy head. Who boy not promote no nasty man, them a fit dead. Boom, bye, bye, in a naughty boy head. Who boy not promote no nasty man, them a fit dead.
In 1988, dancehall reggae artist Buju Banton recorded the now infamous song Boom Bye Bye. In 1992, it became a huge hit in Jamaica, but almost cost the young artist his international career as the backlash over the provocative anti-gay lyrics gained momentum. Although anti-gay sentiments had been well established in dancehall music before, Boom Bye Bye became the catalyst for the gay community's movement against dancehall. In the mid-1990s, lobbyists from the United States, Canada and UK founded the Stop Murder Music campaign. By 1997, the campaigners had gotten some of dancehall's biggest acts, including Beanie Man, Buju Banton, Elephant Man and Sizzla, to sign the Reggae Compassionate Act. Vybz Kartel later signed in 2010. By signing the article, the musicians promised not to make statements or perform songs that incite hatred or violence against anyone from any community, including homosexuals. In Jamaica, it's feared fierce anti-gay sentiment is one of the factors fueling the HIV epidemic.
31.8% is what the last seroprevalence study by the Ministry of Health showed. And it's a glaring comparison to the national average, which is about 1.7. Certainly some of the drivers for that, the issue of homophobia. One can't necessarily readily go to a public health facility and say to the doctor, well, I'm having gay sex.
Executive Director of Jamaica Federation for Lesbians, All Sexuals and Gays, Dane Lewis, prefers to be interviewed off camera for security reasons.
I want to lead as simple a life as possible. I want to be able to go to the supermarket. I want to be able to go to my barbershop. It's one thing to be gay, it's a different thing to be the leader of a movement. The last public face of the organization was murdered in 2004, and we strongly believe that his visibility added to his risk.
That public face was co-founder of J-Flag, Brian Williamson, who was brutally stabbed to death inside his home. Police listed the motive of the crime as robbery, although gay rights activists urged them to consider it a hate crime. According to Dr. Donna Hope, there are cultural reasons for the lack of tolerance and sometimes outright hostility towards homosexuals in Jamaica.
Male homosexuality is rejected through the gender structures that we have, the religious structures that we have, the legislative structures that we have, and the cultural structures that we have. Dancehall comes from Jamaica. And because dancehall is a very male-dominated arena, dancehall has fused male heterosexuality and polygamy and male homosexuality in very oppositional poles. You can't be a man if you can't produce. You cannot produce if you're mating with another man.
In 2008, host of the BBC's Hard Talk, Stephen Sacker, confronted Prime Minister Bruce Golding on the issue.
Do you, in the future, want to live in a Jamaica where a gay man or a gay woman can be in the cabinet?
Sure, they can be in the cabinet, not mine.
Well, they can't be in yours.
Not mine.
No, but do you want to live in a Jamaica where they can be and they should be, and it would be entirely natural for them to be so?
I do not know that that is necessarily the direction in which I want my country to go.
The not in my cabinet has ruled out almost, in fact, in this government, us coming to the table to say, Mr. Prime Minister, this is what we are seeing on the ground when we are working with this particular community. It's ruling it out in so much, and that is what we give to a population, a whole country, a whole citizenry, that this is the stance that the country is taking.
Dancehall music has been specifically targeted because of lyrics that demonstrate intolerance towards gays and, in some instances, violence. But dancehall artist Vybz Kartel said it's not dancehall alone that's to be blamed. Rather, he says the music is only a reflection of the culture.
If you grow up in Finland, there's a 99% chance that you would speak what people in Finland speak. You would adapt to the norms and values and the customs of the Finnish people. And it's the same with Jamaica, you know what I mean? But as the saying goes, the higher the monkey climb, the more I'm exposed. You know what I mean? So that is where Vybz Kartel really, and all of the other artists that have done gay bashing songs, that is where we've gotten it from, how we grow.
Certainly the argument has been made about whether it reflects or it helps to drive popular culture. I think it's pretty cyclical. It's a supporting mechanism that continues to go around and around. The recognition of the kind of influence that music has on influencing a society must be recognized.
But popular DJ Beanie Man begs to differ.
Song make you feel good, yes? Yeah, because you know like what me, you know like neither. So you fire a shot, blow. Yeah, you will see a one game man and say, "Batty boy, go away." If it escalate, then fight go on. But for kill a game man, I don't believe that dancehall music have ever caused the death of no gay man in Jamaica.
It's the classic chicken and the egg argument. But while those on both sides debate which came first, there is no denying that members of the gay community in Jamaica are targeted because of their sexuality. According to Lewis, an average of 30 cases is reported to J-Flag each year, ranging from mob attacks to the rape of lesbians and genital mutilation. That figure could be much higher, as many victims are afraid to come forward and don't trust the police. It's that same fear that keeps some gay men out of clinics where they would be able to access condoms, counseling, and testing.
They are afraid that when they speak about what acts they're engaged in, they will be discriminated against and the service will not be as the others. And rightly so for a lot of them. It's based on their own experiences. And so they don't come out. They do not access care. And when we find incidences of HIV among the population, then they present a little later than other persons.
But there's also evidence the situation is improving as it relates to acceptance of homosexual people. International pressure has been successful in getting dancehall artists to tone down their fatalistic lyrics by hitting them where it hurts.
The Reggae Compassionate Act. I actually signed that agreement earlier while I was going to England. But when I was going to France now, a lot of gay rights people were saying that Cartel can't come to France because he's a homophobic and he promotes hate in his music. You know what I mean? So we actually had to sign that paper to go to Europe.
You had to?
Yeah, I had to.
Forced upon you?
No, it would. Nothing can be forced upon Vybz Kartel. Straight up, nothing at all. You know what I mean? But for the betterment of Vybz Kartel pocket and for the betterment of my children, I signed that quick and fast. Yeah. And go to Europe, go collect the euros, so, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, I have, because, you know what I mean, as I said before, you know, it's modern time now, you know. You know what I mean? And one of the key words right now in the globalized economy and the globalized world is tolerance. You know what I mean? So Vybz Kartel has no problem just doing good music. You know what I mean? Doing music, not really promoting hate against any group of people, any sect. You know what I mean? I have no problem doing that. Vybz Kartel used to have a lot of songs, quote unquote, fun gays. That was way back, you know what I mean? You know, when you're a young artist and you're arrogant and you're just doing stuff. Straight up, but you know, things and time change.
As a result, over the past few years, many artists have changed their messages of death and violence towards gays and substituted affirmations of heterosexuality as well as non-violent condemnations of homosexuality.
Serious recession in the lyrics that are fatal and are acrimonious, and that's stab and murder and burn and kill. There are still lyrics that are going to renounce male homosexuality because of where the music comes from and how Jamaica sees itself. But they are not in that fatal term. We are going to murder, we are going to kill, we are going to burn. The words are different. Very less fatal, less acrimonious. But the themes are there, but in a very different way.
And so we've moved from boom bye bye to no fishing on my ital dish.
I don't want no fishing on my ital dish to see my son become a father. My greatest wish.
What they've done now is to change it into slang. So the outward violence, it's the discrimination is still there. I mean, of course, we had TOKs. Tunes, elephants. Yeah, you know, we've had all of those, but because of that kind of lobbying and advocacy, what they have done is creatively change and use slang now to still express their own homophobia.
Meanwhile, Mr. Vegas' song GYALIS, while reaffirming love of women, simultaneously and less obviously denounces homosexuality, although this strategy is not readily admitted.
No man to me thing, every queen to a king. Man a swing from the gal or whatever swing out. That's a clear swipe at homosexuals, isn't it?
It's not a swipe of homosexuality. I'm just talking about myself. You know, if I was saying,
From the girl, how is that talking about you?
well, we're talking about a man who's moving away from the girl. We're asking where they're going. He's not saying, I am condemning where they're going, or I'm burning out where they're going, or I'm killing them for where they're going. It's their lifestyle, that.
But there are those who continue to sing about violence towards homosexuals. Bounty Killer, for example, has refused to sign the Reggae Compassionate Act. We tried to get him to participate in this documentary, but our multiple requests were ignored. In 2010, Bounty Killer released the song No Friend Fish, which became an instant hit in Jamaica. For those who are confronted with anti-gay sentiment regularly, the softening of lyrics by some is simply not enough.
Because what do you do if you're in the dance and you know you're gay and they're saying, you know, put up your hand if you're a fish, and you're struggling internally, do I put up my hand and save my life, or just stand up still and don't dance?
In the 1990s, the dancehall community responded to a so-called AIDS scare with an abundance of songs highlighting the disease and advocating condom use. Buju Banton, who had been harshly criticized for Boom Bye Bye just a year before, came out with the mega hit Willie.
Don't be silly, put some rubbers on the willy. Ears are go round and we don't want to get you. Good boy, don't be silly. Rubbers on the willy. Ears are go round and we don't want to get you.
The song resonated among gravely concerned Jamaicans and received what Jamaicans call a massive forward in the dance hall. Then in 1997, Montego Bay-based company No Glove No Love reined in Jamaica's iconic pop culture couple, Beanie Man and Carleen, to promote its new brand of condoms, Slam. Slam was the name of Beanie Man's hit single at the time, and girlfriend dancehall queen Carleen was featured on the cover of the condom package in a provocative red outfit.
And when I heard from the point of view in which he had, and I also said to him, yeah, it would be a good reason for the men to buy Carleen, because that was how it was dubbed. Give me a Carleen, because my picture was on it, and as you said, I was dubbed, of course, one of the sexiest women in Jamaica, and of course a sex symbol.
The marketing strategy was a huge hit.
It was research done by Hope Enterprise in the early days, right? And I think it was called Report on Adolescent Condom Use Survey or something like that. And it actually showed that, I can't remember what age group, but it was in the teens, that Slam was the condom of choice, and we had about 30% of the market at the time, which was, the biggest selling condom at the time. Yeah.
But as condom sales increased, medications improved, and more people became more informed about the disease, the scare of the 90s began to wane. By the early 2000s, there was little discussion in dancehall about HIV/AIDS. According to Beanie Man, artists began getting the message that the topic was too serious for airplay.
When we discuss it, them turn a blind eye. You know how much AIDS song man sing? Over 2,000 AIDS songs sing, and them not get the right play, them not get the right promotion. When you sing all of these songs about AIDS, then yeah, you not get what not come to you. No. Them say the topic too strong. That's what them used to use as a serious topic.
Mr. Vegas shares that complaint.
I sang a song called Constant Spring. There's message, but in music, sex sells, and the whole idea behind that. But there's still messages that's out there that promote safe sex. It's just who's going to buy it anyway, and how popular it's going to get.
Because of the importance that sexual virility and fertility, the importance that these things have to male identity, those discussions are not the primary ones that you will hear coming out of dancehall.
If the younger generation is not aware, that will be cause for concern for parents. That will be cause of concern for schools, school teachers, guidance counselors, the Ministry of Health, not the teacher.
The teacher meaning you.
Despite his abdication of responsibility in spreading the message, though, Kartel is very aware of the disease. Like being a man, he says he gets tested regularly.
It's modern time now, so you even have the instant HIV test. So if you check for somebody that much and you think that you want to have sex with this person unprotected, well, get yourself tested. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Have you been tested?
I've been tested over and over and over again. Straight up. And even when my baby mothers have their children, I'm automatically tested as the father. You know what I mean? So once the blood result is negative for the child and the mother, that automatically spells negative for vibes factor. But I do my regular HIV instant checkups.
Kartel has also played a role in the HIV discourse, although not through his music. In 2007, the entrepreneur launched a brand of condoms called Daggering, named for the subgenre of dancehall music popular at the time.
In condom, it was the condom. My partner and I came up with the concept for the rum, but the condom, he was the one who approached me and said, yo, let's do a condom, you know what I mean? Because you have so much songs about sex and whatnot. So let's do a condom and kind of strike a balance. And, you know what I mean? I didn't even hesitate. You know what I mean? I just jumped right into it.
Kartel would not disclose sales figures for the condom, although he claims it was very successful. It is now discontinued. Meanwhile, over at Slam Condoms, Victor Wong expressed a worrying sentiment.
The sales have not been really good recently in Jamaica. I don't know, and that could be for a whole variety of reasons. And from talking to other condom companies, I think right across the board, I think sales are down.
It's obvious there are many challenges in keeping dancehall focused on HIV/AIDS.
For you to bust in dancehall, as they'll explain, you have to do certain kinds of songs. With hardcore dancehall, you have to sing gun tune, gal tune, gully, ghetto tune, ganja tune. God, you have to renounce male homosexuality in some way. It's very important. That's why you could add sex/HIV.
So where does dancehall go from here? What role, if any, should popular music play in spreading the message about HIV/AIDS? And should artists be held accountable for the messages they do choose to promote? Some argue musicians are entitled to freedom of speech. Others say with great freedom comes great responsibility.